The next principle of conscious politics is awareness of developmental psychology and spiral dynamics. The recognition that people are at different levels of development and that they have different needs. And that really one set of policies cannot work for all people because people are very different. Conscious politics doesn't try to make everyone the same. Notice this. Most people, their political worldview is such that they believe that, hey, if everyone just believed like me and adopted my ideology, the world would be perfect. Capitalists tend to think this way. Socialists tend to think this way. Liberals and conservatives tend to think this way. If only we could squash the other side, everything would be fine. This is foolishness. Reality can't work this way because people are at different levels of development. And you learn that by learning developmental psychology and spiral dynamics. Then what you realize is that we need to build bridges to help people to understand each other. And we also need to be tolerant of those who are at lower levels. Lower levels doesn't mean that they're bad or evil people. Just lower levels. Like different grades in school. There are higher grades and lower grades. All of us have to pass through different levels. Some of us pass through these levels faster than others, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that we can be arrogant about it and now deny or ignore or demonize those who are slower. Some people are just slower. Not everyone is born with the same capacities as you might have. Conscious politics aims to try to meet everyone's basic needs in order to help them to move up the spiral. So conscious politics understands that most people in the world are in such desperate situations that they can't care about love or consciousness or truth or have a universal circle of concern because they can barely feed and clothe themselves and take care of their children. And so then our first job is about just helping to meet basic needs that people have by distributing resources in our society more justly. And then what we're doing really is we're moving people up Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As we meet their more basic needs, then we're going to get them to the point where they start to care about self-actualization, where they start to care about personal improvement, where they can read books about history and politics, and they can become better citizens, and then they can raise their consciousness, and they can care about meditation, and then ultimately they can awaken, and they can experience this universal love, which is the whole point of all of existence, is to help ourselves to do that, both individually and collectively. See? So what spiral dynamics teaches us is that you can't just go to a poor person on the street who is hungry and start preaching to him about universal love. He's not going to understand it. He's not going to care about it. He can't at his level. So we got to be able to boil that down, meet the person where he's at, and help him with the needs that he has. And so that's really what government becomes about. But of course, government shouldn't just be limited to meeting basic needs. It needs to be able to meet the needs of various people all along the spectrum of development. So that means government does need to care about self-actualization and to help people with self-actualization, because by helping people self-actualize and transcend themselves, that feeds back around and helps government, because then those people, what are they going to do? They're going to go back into government, or they're going to do charity work or whatever. Or they're going to have a life purpose and they're going to help society to evolve, which helps government, which helps people meet their basic needs. See, that's what's happening in life, is as you're meeting your own basic needs, you're not so needy anymore. You can go out and help others who are needy to meet their basic needs. And then those who used to be needy, who you have helped to not be needy anymore, now they're not needy and they are inspired to do the same thing that you helped them to do, because they see the value you added to their life and you showed them a way out of their neediness. So now they're inspired to go do the same thing. And it becomes this virtuous cycle